The Match Ball.
Hello there and welcome to the show. We are streaming live on YouTube for our TSB Plus members who get early access to the Match Ball, which you can watch and listen to later on in your podcast app and on YouTube as well. This one is brought to you with Levi Solicitors, 10% discount on your legal fees on their full range of services, except, Michael?
Except wills, conveyancing and lasting powers of attorney, because you get 15% off them.
That's to celebrate them being with us for 10 years, sponsoring us here for better and for worse, I think it's fair to say. Full details and terms are on the website, levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. It's Dan, Michael and Rob as Leeds have lost to Villa. The discussion obviously is now around Daniel Farke's position. So where are you? And I would just like to say, for the benefit of anybody who is listening rather than watching, I have my emergency jelly propped on the mic stand that was sent to me by Ginger Paul.
You don't seem in an emergency jelly frame of mind, I have to say.
I'm not. I just feel a little bit sad about it, rather. But not completely down in the dumps. I feel better now compared to how I felt going into this game. I don't know if I feel like a sense of relief, almost.
It was weird, wasn't it? Because we were talking, Michael, before the game, how it felt like an afternoon that everyone was waiting to get out of the way. It felt like everyone was waiting for that to happen. And it feels a bit like that is what the managerial situation is. Everyone's just sort of waiting, which is kind of how I felt after Forest. I wrote in the match report, it feels like very much a matter of when and not if. And that's done nothing to change it. That second half was just a real creeping death, wasn't it? Which is how the entire season now feels, I must admit.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I would have sacked him ahead of today. I would sack him after today. I feel like it's not working. We conceded once again and sort of the same goal again. Just down the left-hand side, someone in the box with people around them, but not actually stopping them putting it into the net.
It's the classic switch off for a few seconds and they score, but you could see all those gaps as they came out for the second half, couldn't you? It's like, this is not looking good, and then all it takes is the slip or something like that, and just those moments count against you. But just to circle back on the jelly, by the way, and I'm not really in a jelly frame of mind, but now feels like the right time. I think. This was supplied by Ginger Paul, and I, for reasons I don't know, called us his Mrs. Sarah. It's not.
That's
Amy.
That's the one he's having an affair with.
Right. Okay. Who'd called into the Inverness Aldi to get me the.
Let's just be clear there. I've thrown someone under the bus for no reason. There, he's definitely not.
But this is me. I'm opening the emergency jelly. It's time. He got it from Inverness Aldi.
Saves you the drive, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah. There we go.
Get it all. Yeah, I'm going to turn away while this goes on.
This is an awful moment, isn't it?
I don't want to see it.
And this was provided for when it all got too much. And it's not all got too much. Like I say, I feel a bit sad about it, but it's time, isn't it? Carrie, talk among yourselves.
It's very distracting, isn't it, when there's someone with their head in a trough at the side.
Not to look, yeah.
Basically.
Disgusting.
It felt, when I saw the lineup, I thought...
Goes down very easily.
I thought...
Much like Leeds United.
I thought, he's done that, has he? As probably did everyone. But then Aronson was actually, for the first half, it was fine. I don't think he was bad for the first half.
I thought us as a whole were decent in the first half. They were aggressive. They were much sharper into the tackle. They were getting stuck in. You know, they were giving as good as they got. But then they come out of the second half and it's just immediately like, right, not keeping that up, are we?
And it was, I don't know which minute it was, but when the crowd are chanting, make a sub, make a sub, make a sub.
Yeah, it was gone then, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is bad.
Just on Aronson, did you notice when Villa were making a sub and they put the number 11
off.
up and he ran
He
off?
did.
That must be me.
I saw that, yeah.
What fucking hell.
One or two comments on the jelly. Choke on it. I thought you were meant to use a spoon.
No, that's for the Queen and people like that.
Yeah, all this goes back to me driving to an Aldi and chugging a jelly in the car park once, which I mentioned on the show. Done it here now, haven't I? On camera.
Yeah.
I'll live there on the internet forever. I want to be, if I can possibly, at a moment when nobody wants to be fair to Daniel Farke or Leeds United or the players, and say, I don't think we're terrible. I just don't think we're quite good enough.
I was going to say exactly the same, and that's why I found it so dispiriting today.
Yeah.
I don't think they're terrible. I don't really hate any of... I don't really, dislike most of them, but they're just not good enough. And I think that's what perhaps frightens me the most about this season is that, we're probably going to change the manager at some point over the next month. That might not change enough.
No.
Because they've done an absolute balls up of the summer.
And that's why I feel a certain amount of relief, I think. Like, I'm almost accepting of our place in the league, and the league has shown itself, I think, in the last few weeks. And if you're not on it, and if you don't capitalise, if you don't score goals when you've got the opportunity to do so, if you don't take points when you've got the opportunity to do so, if you don't turn up in games where you need to, Burnley away, for example, what do you expect? And I know that the whole system is loaded against us, and this is coming off the back of seeing the new PSR replacement rules, which will do nothing but help the Big Six again, because anybody who's got the income from being in Europe is allowed to spend 70% of it, aren't they, in line with Europe? Anybody who's not in Europe can spend 85% of your turnover, but it's still a huge gap because the income is so disproportionate from Europe. So all that is a long way of saying I can't get too upset by the state of top division football.
Come on.
But there's some fairly fundamental issues in the way we set up.
Yes.
And like the same things happen over and over again. And you're watching that free kick going and you're thinking, could he not have just stuck his left arm out and maybe saved that?
Perry at free kicks all afternoon was making himself smaller, which I never understood. And you knew that was going to happen at some point. And yeah, you talk about all those things about how it's loaded against us, but ultimately we've signed a goalkeeper who doesn't look like an upgrade on Caldalo, who was our second choice last year in the Championship. You look at Beal, who has spent a big money relative standards. We've seen him, which we all wanted to see him, see if he was any better than Pascal Struijk, and we've seen him and gone, you're not better than Pascal Struijk. You look at the midfield, and Stack went off after 20 minutes, but in the last few weeks he's been pretty rotten. And Tanaka came on, and I know he got booked and got subbed off again, but I thought he looked as bright as we have seen Stack been all year. You look up front, we've got two strikers that we've signed on free transfers. And that did he score that first goal? I didn't really know what happened.
I mean, it bounced off him.
Yeah, he kind of hit him in the feet and it went in.
Between him and Calvert-Lewin, they look like two guys who've signed on free transfers.
So I thought Mechie did all right today, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he's got so much work to do. Like, given the ball goes up to him and there's never anyone around him.
That's the issue. The way we set up is that we've got players who are up there scrapping, but we don't get the bodies around them. I think that's a systematic issue rather than a quality one. He's not going to finish like Harry Kane. Fine.
No, but I think his touch is terrible though, and he just kept trying to flick it today. I was like, can you not? Can you just like get your ass between the ball and the defender and maybe try hold it? I agree though about that. We never get any players around him, which just makes it impossible.
Yeah. But then you're then talking back. You're going back to the issues and talking about why don't you play wingers, for example, who, if you're going to play in that fashion with somebody big up top, you need to move it forward quickly, and then you need to have people who can get in behind, as we saw with Dan James doing it over and over again. You know, the end product was mixed. Fine, maybe that's a quality issue, fitness issue, whatever. But he was running in behind the fullback and causing them trouble. And if you are going to play a big man up front, put wingers on who can take the ball and go down the line and put crosses in maybe. You know, we signed Dominic Calvert-Lewin as a big man who can head it. Why don't we cross the ball? I mean, I know he didn't start today, but if this is what the strategy is, it just feels like none of it's quite joined up. And I think that just goes back to Farke probably just being a little bit too wedded to the idea of wanting to play his own football. I just think it's just that overall there's too many factors that are not good enough, and that's why we are where we are.
Yeah, and like with Okafor, he cuts in a lot. But when Dan James started going down the outside, we had the disallowed goal, obviously, which I've not seen it back.
It's on the artwork.
I didn't celebrate. Oh yeah, there it is. I didn't celebrate it. It's right in front of me. I didn't celebrate it at the time because I was like, he's offside or he's handball. I thought he might have been offside, but then all the Villa players were going over saying handball. And when it seems that conclusive, and it's when you're actually scoring a goal with your hand as well, the law's pretty clear on that as well. It's not like is it or is it not a penalty because it was in the build-up or it was a defender and there's distance, all this stuff. If you score with your hand, it can't count, can it? So I didn't celebrate that. But Dan James getting down that side, crossing it, he did it again, and we won a corner from it because just the angle of crossing it from deep, the chances are if a fullback's stopping it, you get in a corner and then it gives you another chance from a set piece. And then I don't know if it was from a Dan James one or something else, but like Struijk nearly scored then from a set piece. Then produced a really good save.
I don't think Farke wants to play in that way, though. You're seeing the way that he builds up. And I said, just to address a comment that's coming in here, Michael, sorry, and you can pick this one up as well. Jambon, the ham, is saying, Dan, no, it is Farke. He absolutely cannot complain about no attacking transfers when you leave James and Nonto on the bench till 70 and 78 minutes. No, I agree. Completely agree. Like, I wasn't suggesting. I think it's two separate issues. Yeah, the recruitment hasn't been good enough because the players probably aren't good enough, but we're also not using the ones that we've got to hurt teams. Like, and I think, well, let me throw this one back to you then. In terms of Brendan Aronson today, like, Brendan Aronson is not a terrible footballer, right? He's a limited footballer. No, I mean, but he's not. You know, he's capable of playing up to a particular level. You see, like in the West Ham game, he showed a little bit of something. And this is not me necessarily commenting on his ability so much as the way that he embodies what this team is about. When that game was a scrap in the first half and we sort of pulled them down to our level and we were winding McGinn up and all that, and I think we sort of probably slightly the better of them. He thrived in that scrap, but as soon as it got a little bit stretched and you're asking players to make the difference and create chances, that's when it all stops. But I don't think I think Farke's too wedded to the idea of using him, as you saw with the Tanaka sub on, sub off. And he likes the work rate too much. I think he's not brave enough to use players to try and win games early enough. I don't think is my feeling on it. I think that's kind of what you get with Brendan Aronson. Like, he's good up to a point, but when you need somebody who's going to make a difference.
But what I don't understand with all this is that Daniel Farke seemed to love Dan James last season. He was saying in midweek, nobody loves him more than him, and Dan James works as hard as Brendan Aronson.
Yeah,
and I know he's not perfect. Like, he's not going to. We talk about Brendan Aronson's goal record in the Premier League over the last however many appearances. Dan James' goal record in the Premier League over the last similar amount of appearances is probably not much better. But I just don't understand why he keeps sticking with him, and we just keep getting the same results, and it's the same stuff over and over again. And
is that the reason, Rob, why you think it's probably just going to have to change? Because
and I think it's that thing of, we just need something to change as well. The crowd needs something to change. Like, it was really quiet today before the game. I couldn't actually believe how quiet it felt. Albeit I was right in the back corner of the East Lower, so it was kind of a strange atmosphere anyway. But it just feels like everyone's waiting for something to change. And I was saying to you again, Michael, before the game, I was dreading the moment, like 1 p.m. today, when the team sheet was going to come out yesterday, because I was like, we know what it's going to be, and we know everyone's going to be furious, and we know everyone's just going to go to Ellen Road waiting again.
Yeah, the silence was weird at full time, because I don't think there were any boos.
There was
really.
a boo, yeah.
Do you think there was?
Yeah, there
was a bit.
Yeah, there was an audible boo, but it wasn't committed.
There was a bit of, you don't know what you're doing as you went past the cop.
Yeah, it was weird because Farke was there with the players, but it was a bit weird because I felt like people were mainly. It's very hard to single people out in groups, isn't it? To be like, I'm applauding, I'm applauding you. Didn't really like what you did, but there was a general like faint ripple of applause as the players walked past the cop. But then I think people were angry about Farke and the way he'd set up. So it's how you convey that to a large group of men 50 meters from you. It's not really the place for nuance.
We went with limited words and a group chant that is the only way to do that. Yeah. But the mutiny had already started though during the game, hadn't it? There was that little simmer of dissatisfaction.
Yeah,
with the make a sub and singing the songs for James and Nonta.
It's that feeling of, it doesn't even necessarily come across as a crowd noise or anything, but that feeling you get when you've been expecting them to score and they do, and everyone goes, there you go. Yeah. Fucking knew it, told you. Which admittedly football fans will do because they're kind of attuned to protecting yourself by going, they're going to score it.
Yeah.
But it's that feeling of like, this is getting away from us, and it's a matter of time until they score, and then they do. Well, I mean, it wasn't a matter of time because it was about 2 minutes in the second half, wasn't it? But by the time the second one went in, you're like, that's fine. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Well done, everyone.
It's about par.
Well done, everyone, for letting it happen.
Yeah.
Good. We could all see it coming, and now it has.
A sense of inevitability about it.
Yeah. I will say, as an individual performance, this was far, far better than Forest and Brighton. Because we were in the game.
We were scrapping in the crowd. That's what actually got the crowd up for it, wasn't it?
And like we did cause them problems. It's not pretty, is it? The way we create chances isn't exactly
set pieces, in it?
Cutting teams open, is it? It's like, I mean, Christ, the goal was like, the ball went about the height of the south stand, came back down. I think Madsness sort of flapped at it, and Stack was underneath it as well, and it falls to Metro and stuff like it. It's an ugly goal, but whatever.
They all count equal, don't they?
I don't really care. Although I will say VAR ruined it a bit because I was fully expecting that to be disallowed as well.
Yes.
So again, I didn't celebrate it because I was like, oh, that looked too messy. The ref had definitely pointed to halfway to say it was a goal, but then he very quickly was kind of like, okay, we're going to check. We're going to check because it was kind of co-refed by him and John McGinn, won it in the first half. So he probably just had to check.
It helped having a pantomime villain in terms of the atmosphere as well.
Yeah, McGinn, being a right horrible little bastard, actually got the crowd into it.
Yeah, it did.
And he is a right horrible little bastard as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he was very, very fortunate not to get more yellow cards, really. He was due one way before he did get one.
Well, he walks it right up to the line, doesn't it? Considering what Jayden Bogle got booked for, which was scooping the ball away about 3 feet from a free kick, which, letter of the law, absolutely is a booking.
McGinn kicked it away.
But
it McGinn into the net.
Yeah, McGinn had done it before that, a lot further away.
Yeah,
I know.
They just did a good job of going, oh, what? Oh, what? You mean everyone, there was a whistle and everyone stopped?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Prick.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's hard not to think that the refs, they don't like booking some of the higher profile players.
Absolutely bought them that free kick as well that led to their first goal. The ball went over to him and he just stuck his arse into someone and fell over.
Yeah.
It was a full ailing flop.
Which the hench ref called him out on a couple of times, like saying, you're making a back for him, but why is he not?
While we're on this,
go on.
Bring back fat refs. I don't want any more hench refs.
Yeah.
Right. Seen enough.
I'll let you tell him.
They should be little, bald, fat men.
School teachers.
Exactly. That's how they should look. They should be easily mockable. and he's frankly a bit of a big unit. So I'm against it.
Yeah. Farke's doing the press conference, as has been pointed out in the...
it's just pointless. Don't make him speak.
It's just going to annoy everyone. We know what he's going to say, because statistically, I've not looked. I imagine we were about equal with him today. He can probably point to the XG. He can probably point to like possession stats or something. And absolutely not a single human being on this planet has got a second for listening to it. But we will see. We're going to speak to Graham, aren't we, straight after this, actually, for the West Stand.
We'll probably get a more accurate representation of the mood in the room and all that. Stats-wise, it was 47 to 53 in terms of possession. XG, 1.55 to 1.21, so fairly middling. 14 shots each. We had 5, they had 3. 2 big chances, they had 1. It was relatively even statistically anyway. Same with accurate number of passes, fouls committed, very, very much on a par. But the difference is, I know we kind of gifted them at least one goal, probably both of them. It's just the quality, isn't it? I
don't think it is. I disagree. I don't think it is just the quality.
I don't think it's just the quality. I think it's a system issue as well. I do. But also when you have chances and don't take them.
I think you can have all the quality we had today, but you can be organised so you don't allow that cross to come in, or you clear the first goal and maybe the keeper decides to save it rather than just standing watching it for the free kick.
I agree.
They're both perfectly within the realms of possibility for League One footballers to just mark people who are in the box and
or at least try and save it.
Yeah, and when the free kick's taken, Okafor just doesn't fall. I think it goes to Cash out wide, and then is it Marlon? I can't remember who it was. Someone anyway goes out.
It was.
And Okafor lets him run past him, and then he crosses the ball. So like, Goodmanson has done his job in stopping Cash getting it in, but then there's just a pass 5 yards away to someone who can cross it, and then when it comes in, I think you've got the usual suspects. It'll be Ampadu, Strauch, Rodon, Bogle. There's a group of people around Rodgers, but none of them actually challenging him
or close enough to
be. And it's happened over and over again. There've been headers more recently, but this was obviously
for the record
swept in.
I do agree with you, by the way. I was pointing out the quality issue is one that I find annoying when we go forward and we don't take our chances. That's one thing that costs us. But I do agree. I think Farke's system is not enough. I genuinely do. Like first half worked pretty well. I thought worked pretty well, but then when football breaks out and you can see their quality, I don't think we're organised enough generally to combat teams to enough of a level that'll keep us up.
It is that defensive disintegration that's going to get him sacked as well.
Yeah.
Because you can point towards the attack and go, that is just a lack of quality. Like we have balls up the summer, but our defence was a strong point at the start of the season, and now you're looking at it, you're going, we're going to leak goals.
Well, and also the whole point of if you're going to defend his team selections, you can say he wants solidity. That's why you have a right winger who can't really go do right winger stuff, but he works hard. And then you've got 3 hard-working, defensive-minded midfielders, and then you've got Okafor as like the one person who you go, all right, he just attacks pretty much. He's like and then obviously the striker. But you've got the majority of your team is set up with defense first, you would say.
Yeah. And actually what you saw is that there was that bit in the second half where the game got really stretched. It was like a basketball game. But whenever we got the ball back to break, it was just Metro up front. Or Bogle might be the furthest forward because Aronson had lost the ball and he was out of position. Like it's just carnage. It's hard to work out what we're actually trying to do.
I think with regards to that, the reason why you've got the outlet and the big man up front, whoever it may be, is that you accept that you might not be able to try and play it out and do the patient build-up. So you need to get players around him, as we were saying a little bit earlier on. But we don't. It's used as a last resort, isn't it? It's when there's no other option, it gets hoofed up, and then there's no one around, so it just comes back. But then when we do get it back, we prefer to play the patient build-up style. And I would love to see it attacking football. I really would. But I just think, like I said the other week, I think what what Farke wants to do and what recruitment wanted to do, they're not quite overlapping enough. And I don't think any of it's quite good enough. I don't think Farke's got the smarts to do it. I think his team selection is wrong. I think his in-game management is not good enough at times. Like you saw Emery making the changes at half-time today, didn't you? And it changed the game.
We also struggle to play direct because Perry can't kick the ball.
No.
Which is a massive problem. It's just a mess, isn't it? But yeah, I think just going back to Aronson when you were saying that he doesn't do right winger things, I sort of think that might be why he's in the team, in that he's trying to play him as like a half right winger, half number 10, because we don't have a number 10. But the reason we don't have a number 10 is because he decided Aronson's not good enough to play there. So it's like, so why is he in the team? And then you saw when he made the changes and Tanaka came off again, which I wasn't massively surprised about because he was on a booking, wasn't he? And there was a tackle towards the start of the second half where I thought, oh God, he was lucky to get away without a second booking. I think the ref played advantage. But yeah, he moved Aronson to number 10, but then he stuck with that plan for 5 minutes? And then it was, right, we'll put a second striker on.
It feels to me like if you're going to play 4-3-3, you just need to have wingers who can do something on both sides.
If you've watched our tactical developments on the Phoenix Football Manager thing, it's pretty similar. We need a goal, so we're like, I don't know, just put some more players on. And then, I don't know, should we move one of them forward a bit? Yeah, see how that goes for a bit, then 5 minutes, it's not working, change it again.
Yeah. And again, we saw the exact thing again towards the end, didn't we? Which I think is, again, another emblem of his failure to manage in game to a high enough level, just lobbing everyone on at once.
And we did have him, in fairness, under quite a bit of pressure towards the end of that game.
Yeah, but what's the plan though? Like, how do we change it? And again, the make a sub chance came about, was it 60, 62 minutes? Something like that. And of course, he hung on until it was 66 that they got called back to the bench. It was 70 when they came on. Very, very predictable. And I think that's just the space we're in now.
It's the second game in a row as well where we've made, because against Forest he made a load of subs, didn't it, before we did as well? I'm pretty sure.
Deitch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Deitch did all his subs.
It was 10 minutes before, wasn't it?
Before us. Again today, made changes at half time, and it feels like he's so ponderous.
That's why Brendan Aronson's running off. He's just assuming, well, it must be me.
Yeah.
Have you seen what I'm doing?
Yeah, there was that bit, wasn't there, where the crowd did lose the plot with Aronson.
Where the Dan James song started and Nonso song started. But yeah, he called James and Nonso back, and then he decided not to bring Nonso on. It was like, no, Calvert-Lewin's on. And he waited for Nonso longer. And
I know we slag Aronson off all the time. I do feel sorry for him because he's getting criticised for that. Like late in the game, Dan James tried doing a cross with his left foot. It was awful. It was like absolutely miles out of play. Just booted it straight out for a goal kick. If Aronson had done that, the crowd would have been on his back. But it's such a build-up of frustration with him being in the team and Farke insisted on putting him there all the time. If he was coming off the bench now and then, people would be kind of all right with it.
You saw against Everton the opening day of the season, and was it Newcastle? When it was him and Harrison coming on, it was like we had something to protect, and they have their value there. But when you're trying to get into a game or win a game, that's not his game.
No, he doesn't do it, does he?
No.
So Farke is, in making him a favourite, is actually completely throwing him under the bus and making it very difficult for him to ever get into a position where people want him in the team again. Because everyone's just like, no, I've seen that. I've seen it over and over again. I hate it. I'm so bored of it.
I'm just really confused, though, at what point he's changed his mind on Aronson though, because he didn't start the season in the team, and it was, we're not going to play number 10. We're going to have wingers. We're going to have a big man up front. And then Aronson's got in the team, and it felt like a bit of a stopgap. It looked like a stopgap, but then he's kept doing it. I find it really, confusing.
I wonder if there's a degree of just stubbornness with Farke. That
he
knows people are calling for something different, and he's like, nope.
Just be idiocy.
I'm not going to be going what people tell me. I think I know best on this. And then it's like, well.
But all managers do that, don't they, in one way or another? All managers have their quirks. And even Bielsa did, as we said before, he's held to such high regard.
Yeah.
But even he did it with Tyler Roberts and, refused to stubbornly play Gelhardt when it looked like, there was a...
When Gelhardt's time's come back around again. Get him back in January.
I think
Tyler Roberts, get Gelhardt back, buy Tyler Roberts, then play Tyler Roberts ahead of Gelhardt. That's what we should do to finish this.
But I think the stubbornness is maybe just, again, it's partly down to his limitations. Maybe he doesn't know what to do. Maybe he doesn't know how to change it. Maybe he's just not proactive enough. Maybe he's just not quite good enough, which is probably how I feel about it, which is a shame. Because, I enjoyed last season and it was nice seeing us playing possession football and winning games, but it's a different kettle of fish now. And I just don't think he's capable of delivering. I think, for all the reasons I said, I just don't think he's the guy to do it. The next question, of course, is, well, who do you put in then? Who are you going to put in? Well, that's not my job to know that. No. But what I would say is it's probably just time to roll the dice. Now, there are obviously shortcomings at boardroom level and in recruitment here that we need to mention. But that's not going to change now, is it? Because it doesn't.
No. And the players aren't going to change either, not much.
But I also,
barring one or two January changes.
But I also agree with you as well that I think if somebody could put structure in place, then maybe we've got a chance. But as you said, Rob, maybe not. Maybe we're just going to come up short because that's just the nature of it. And I think all these things can be true at the same time. You don't ever have to kind of blame it all on one thing. I just think there's just a lot of shortcoming this season, really.
That is the other reason why I found it so dispiriting today, because I was walking out the ground and it took me like 20 minutes to get down the east stand and then another 10 minutes to have a piss. And it's like, why have we got a substandard ground and substandard ownership, substandard manager, substandard players? Like, how has this happened? Like, it just feels like a repeat of the last relegation season where it's like we're all looking forward to this big idea of a new ground and everything's going to be fixed. We're going to have loads of good revenue. We're going to have a great ground and everyone's going to love going there. And it's like, yeah, but look at the present. It's all, none of it's good enough.
It feels a little bit like free beer tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yeah, and we've done the thing where you look at the kind of run of games that we had leading up to this and we squandered them. And now you have a game like this and you think, well, I've played all right, but it's ultimately meaningless because we got no points out of it.
Yeah, in isolation, if we'd have won at Burnley and got a draw at Forest, losing today, all right, fine. These things happen. We played generally okay, came up a bit short, but we have 14 points on the board, 15 points.
You give yourself the comfort of being able to lose a game because you're going to lose games in the Premier League. I completely accept that.
This is where we get, I suppose, you get back to the throwback to the Marsh season as well, where there are certain games where you can go, well, okay, yeah, we were a bit unlucky. We did, the XG, fine, that was level with them, and maybe, but game after game of the stats showing you were in it, but you didn't get anything. At some point, you have to accept that maybe there's a problem here.
Yeah,
like it's not. Unfortunately, you can't appeal to someone for your points back at the end of the season and go, but the stats, look, but we deserved a point in this game, and we should probably have won that one. And maybe we can have a point out of this one. Like, no, this is happening over and over again now.
Yeah.
And I don't see it changing. And certainly not in the next 3 games.
Liverpool are terrible, aren't they?
Well,
and that's what happened last time as well.
Yeah, that is true. I just think you can already sort of hear the match of the day 2 bit, can't you? No, it's not going to get any easier for Daniel Farker, is it, in the coming weeks? Well, no, it's not. Because I don't know.
Some scouts.
Danny Murphy or Stephen Warnock.
There's always some fucking scouser on it to sort of go, no, what's difficult there? But everyone's just waiting. Just sack him. I know
it terrifies me what comes next and where they go.
Yeah. I mean, the danger is they think they're the smartest guys in the room again, as they clearly did with recruitment.
Yeah, but it's like I always go back to that summer when they finally took over, and how long had they been in the background? 5 years, 6 years or something? And their big idea when they got in, having had all that time to prepare, was, should we ask Bielsa if he fancies it? People liked him, didn't they? That worked. And then they end up hiring Farker after he interviewed them, which was the line coming out of the club as well. And you think, what do you want? Like, what is your big idea here? Have you identified someone? Do you even know what kind of manager you want? Do you know who's out there who might get it? Because you saw what happened at Rangers. It was a mess where Danny ruled himself out of the job and then ends up getting the job. And I just have this creeping dread that we're going to end up with Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, I mean, there is that. Because you almost need to be shown this, don't you? Because you can want managers sacked, and then you see the list of people and you go, oh shit, I didn't want him sacked that much. I didn't want him sacked so much that we were going to get Neil Warnock back.
Yeah, well, it's 2 separate discussions, isn't it? The problem is they often get overlapped when this comes around. There is the discussion of should he retain his position, but there's also, and it is related, I suppose, who's next?
And the question of who's next is absolutely legitimate. I can see why people always say it, but at the same time, it's the people running a football club. It's their responsibility to be aware of the coaching market.
I'm not using that argument as a defense of Farker. I'm using that as a criticism of the ownership, basically.
Yeah. But they should know who the next Iraola or maybe Slot's a bad example now. But people who emerge as coaching talents who we don't see every week, because I'm not watching the Bundesliga. Well, I don't know.
The recruitment structure was back to the hilt by the ownership in the summer. They opted to go down a path, and it's proper in for a penny, in for a pound territory now, because whether you think that was the right thing to do or not will be borne out by how this season ends. Personally, I think the recruitment has fallen substantially short. I think they've not done enough, and they were foolish to be pleased with what they did do and then say, well, yeah, ignore the bit that we didn't do. The rest of it was all right. It's a whole package, and it's not been good enough.
And that again terrifies me because they were crowing about we've been preparing for this transfer window for 6 months, and then they cocked it up. And you think, right.
And as you were saying, Rob, as well, the whole premise of we've spent more money at the back, and they've justified the lack of signing forward players by we're building from the back. Well, we're not defending very well, are we?
And they don't look any better than what we already have.
And if that's not the players, then it's the coach, and it's the coach that you chose to stick with. So again, we're just going around in circles on the same few points, but I just think there's just too much that's just not being good enough in too many departments.
But as well, another thing is, again, going around more and more, but if they did want to sack Farker in the summer, shut up and do it at the end of the season. Don't 24 hours after we've been promoted, leak it to the Daily Mail. And then get an outcry and some pushback off the back of that, and then change your mind because people liked him at a bus parade.
I heard from somebody who said that he was gone, which I can't name that person, but definitively.
Well, when that report,
I've been told by somebody at Boardroom level he was gone.
When that report came out, they never distanced themselves from it. They had the chance and was just commented it. So that speaks volumes to me.
I think Farker deserved a chance.
Yeah, I did.
For what it's worth.
Yeah.
But equally, I felt like it wouldn't probably last very long when it started going wrong. I'm actually surprised they've not acted.
But equally, based on what Rob said, and you saw the example at Rangers, and I don't know how active
well, we
they
didn't. I suppose we didn't have that at the start of the season. I thought they'd start with him, and then the second they had a suspicion it was not going well.
There were always whispers about them being cutthroat. Yeah, and actually, they probably haven't been.
But look at the transfer window; it takes them ages to do anything.
Yeah,
like it's complete inertia. So.
Yeah, and talking about we need to get absolutely everything right. We can't afford to get a transfer wrong or waste money. But when you're feeding it into a system that doesn't work, and look, I would say we've got to caveat all this by saying we get the benefit of hindsight. They don't.
Oh, yeah, completely. It's really difficult signing players.
Yeah.
I absolutely acknowledge that.
But when you're crowing about the amount of foresight you've had and how well prepared you are.
And the Sunderland issue is there for them as well, because Sunderland didn't know they were promoted until the last kick of the playoff final, more or less. We knew we were promoted probably about Christmas, is when they should have been getting everything in place.
Weren't they? Like Beale's name was doing the rounds for ages. I first got told about Beale, I think it's January or February. If we go up, we'll get this guy.
And you look at Sunderland when did they miss out on that striker or did he get recalled? And then the day later or that same day, they'd signed someone else.
Yeah, the guy from...
It is possible.
They got Robbie, didn't they?
Yeah.
But it cost money.
But Sunderland also sold well.
Yeah.
They sold well, and we didn't. We opted not to. We opted to hang on to what we've got. But again, so you go back into systematic failures, and if they say to Farker, well, do you want to keep him and him? We can't seem to get rid of them. Well, just be better at your jobs. How's about that? Just find a way.
There was a game of football today, wasn't there? I forgot about that then.
Yeah. Which was actually...
I thought Rodon was good. I thought Ampadu was decent.
Yeah.
Rodon looked bang up for it. He looked utterly fed up by the end of it when he was overlapping down the right wing.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Good on you, Joe.
He did well against Watkins, I thought. There were a few times Watkins got in and he was kind of decent recovery pace. And I thought he did all right. It's weird. I felt like all the defence did quite well. But then...
You switch off for a second.
When they score, you're looking at them all going...
But I think, again, it goes back to those chats we've had about the nature of the Premier League in recent weeks. And I think there's probably a misconception that you might be backs to the wall under the cosh for 90 minutes. And often, with the exception of the absolute top teams, like we might get a pasting next week, but based on that, it's often not the case. It's often evenly matched teams, but it's just quality or errors that end up costing you or fall into your advantage. It's really fine margins. The problem is making enough of them go in your favour. And like I said, for all the reasons before, it's just fallen short in so many ways. But yeah, defend great for 88 minutes, but if you switch off for 2 minutes, you can see 2 goals.
Yep. Well, I suppose we just wait then, do we?
I suppose so.
I think they'll make him sit through these run of games.
I suspect they will as well.
There's no one at the club, which you mentioned on the match ball after Forest, to actually take interim charge, unless like Scott Gardner's been doing the 21s for just over a year or something.
Be a massive step up.
Does Johnny Howson do it? Like, there's no one there, is there?
No.
And then I think if any potential incoming manager worth their salt would look at them games and go, just wait a bit and I'll take over after them if you don't mind.
Yeah. But if you act after Forest, you have an international break and a start against Villa, and you might think, okay, well, there's a chance to get a bit of momentum there, maybe.
But as Rob said, ponderous.
But they haven't. And
again, hindsight. Sorry, go on.
I suspect you're right. I think they will sit on their hands now for a few weeks. But the danger is, though, that they've decided they want rid of him, and we might go and fluke a win, and then what the fuck do you do?
Well, exactly. This is why I'm so terrified by the glaring comparisons to the last relegation season.
Which they were nothing to do with.
No, absolutely not.
To be clear.
They were there watching and clearly haven't learned anything, but, it's fine.
Be interested to see what happens. I suppose we'll we'll wrap it up there. Anything else to add?
I'm not very happy.
I've not even looked at my notes from the game from that, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got some, but we didn't mention the person getting on the pitch.
Yes, I wanted to know what. Did you get a view of that?
I think it was just someone going down to tell Farke to make a sub.
Yeah,
I assumed it was the Villa manager. No, it was Farke.
I think it was some. I didn't see it unfolding, but people in Emery were saying he was trying to get to Farke.
I didn't see any of this, but I've just seen a couple of screen grabs that have popped up in a WhatsApp group saying that this is the post-match stuff. So, and like I said, I think we'll save the Farke comments until we speak to Graham after this, which will come out on Monday. Because I think I dare say there's quite a lot of nuance there to be examined. But I'm just looking at Adam Pope's tweet. Farke being asked about the supporter who approached him. I didn't see it.
Didn't see the man who walked towards me.
I need a replay.
Okay.
And also, maybe this is the point at which we sign this one off. Understands why fans in general are angry after another defeat. Reiterates that the performance is one that I don't have too much to complain about. So,
okay.
And up to a point, he's right. But beyond that, he's really fucking wrong, isn't he?
There's a bigger picture here, though, isn't there?
Yeah, I think that is it. That you've encapsulated it well there.
And
yes.
It's another defeat off the back of two absolutely awful performances. Not long after losing at Burnley. It's not, and again, other teams winning now as well, like Forest just winning yesterday.
West Ham who were finished. I think I proudly declared them finished.
I mean, the thing is, right. I've watched the second half of that game. West Ham got absolutely battered in it. Like how they didn't lose that, I've no idea. It was just Bournemouth attacking over and over and over again, and they just couldn't get it over the line. But if I was watching that game and Leeds are in West Ham, I would 100% be thinking that they're scoring it. We're losing this game. They're going to score. They'll score eventually. Yep. Might not be yet, but they'll score.
Yeah.
But they hung on. But yeah, they really didn't deserve a point in that, didn't West Ham. So, but they might still be finished, is what I'm saying.
Right, they just need to. They've unfinished themselves for a bit, but need to be refinished.
That's right.
Well, there we go. Members, thanks for joining us on the live stream. Check out the audio version. We'll do some extra time for you now. A little bit of bonus chat. Thesquareball.net/plus if you'd like to support us. Yeah, we're going to chat to Graham after this and get his take on what Farke has said in the press conference. Sounds like he's gone in defence of Brendan.
Oh, imagine my surprise. I think he's going to, isn't he? I suppose he's not going to go, yeah.
He's always going to circle the wagons with his players, of course he is. Yeah. And it's always for their benefit and not ours.
I just wish they wouldn't broadcast it. And no one would report on it, so I didn't have to hear.
Anyway, Arsenal
2-0
up on Spurs. So that's
hey,
nice.
Thomas Frank might be available soon.
Would you take him?
The sex goblin.
In a heartbeat. Absolutely in a heartbeat, yeah.
The alien.
Yeah.
Could be an option.
Let's stop before Michael gets himself in trouble. Cheers for joining us on the stream. We'll see you.
The Match Ball.